but there is this negative reaction towards toxic masculinity.
Mhm.
And I don't like that term at all because it completely emasculates men. So can you talk a little bit about that and how that's impacting the men's mindsets and what the solution would be or the alternative would be to that?
I personally believe that it's a good thing to have strong, driven, capable, useful men in the world. I also think it's a really good thing to have strong, driven, capable women in the world. I recommend we all be those things. I don't recommend that one gender overpowers the other and vice versa. And so I think when it comes to the feminist movement or the toxic masculinity, I really look at this more of like, how can we create together instead of compete together? Right. Like, I think of like really great relationships are people who integrate their lives together. They don't compete against one another. And I don't know if this is women wanting to feel more like the dominant sex or the dominant gender and trying to push men down and not letting us carry your luggage to the airport or not letting us open the doors for you. Because I think there is something that you mentioned in the beginning when, let's say a woman doesn't let a man open her door for him, she's basically removing a little bit of his usage and kind of screwing up with like the way he's biologically wired, right? As men, we are wired to protect and to provide. That doesn't mean just financial provide. That means like provide safety, right? Provide love, provide care. Like that is personally the way that I look at it. And so I think when it talks about like toxic masculinity, I I think it's just a term that we use to get clicks. In all honesty, I think it's a term that we use to piss people off. I think it's a term that is very trendy. And I think the word toxic creates so many different ideas of what that actually means. And I think I've even used the word toxic in like making fun of it a little bit. I was on a panel not too long ago last year about redefining masculinity. Like, what does it mean to be masculine in the 21st century? And there's a great book by Jason Wilson called The Man the Moment Demands. And this book reinforces a lot of what I believe in. And essentially, it's being adaptable. I think masculinity today is knowing when to exercise your hard skills, like confidence, discipline, toughness, and intensity, and knowing when to exercise your soft skills, empathy, kindness, love, curiosity, and understanding that in any given moment, I might need to change, be adaptable to be the man that the moment demands. And so that's a lot of the stuff that I learned from Jason Wilson's book. And so, I think I still can learn more about the term toxic masculinity, but in all honesty, I don't really believe in it. I think there's probably, I think it was created to piss people off, in all honesty.
Well, you're right. It is pitting women against men, and it's confusing women
Mhm.
because now women don't know what a real man is. And when he's being kind and generous and wants to provide and protect or open the door and do all of those things, women don't understand how to take that anymore.
Mhm.
And so when they're no longer talking to each other and they're pitted against each other, how are they supposed to come together? And that's
Exactly.
impacting future relationships.
Mhm.
And like I said, the confusion for women, instead of competing, we need to complement each other. It's okay to admit that I don't want to be as strong as a man. I don't want to have to do all the things men do. That's
Mhm.
not equality for me. But for some women, they're buying into this mentality that I am everything that a man is, I have to be. Instead of we need to complement each other. We need to complement our strengths and let him lead where he's strong. Let me lead when I'm strong. And I think that's being lost in this divisive conversation of toxic masculinity, or I'm a strong, proud feminist, and these jargon buzzwords are creating division instead of bringing people together.
Yeah, and I think too, there's a little mixture of maybe ego involved and even, I mean, I don't know a better word to use, but like intelligence, right? I think people who are very, whether you want to call it emotionally intelligent, emotionally aware, never really get too aggressive, right? Because they're always like curious and they're always kind of like, like maybe maybe there's right. What part of the problem am I right producing, right? What do I maybe need to change? And so I personally try to surround myself with people who are curious, who are aware of, hey, we're all kind of broken and messed up in our own way. And I think it's really cool when we're actually open to talking about that. Whenever I see a woman or a guy expressing toxic traits, I'm just like, stay away from them, right? Because they're just honestly probably going to seep into your awareness, and then you become the average of those 5 people. So I think those people too, if they are expressing toxic traits, whether it's toxic femininity or toxic masculinity, I think they just want to feel significant. And right, don't we all want to feel significant, right? We all want to feel seen, heard, and understood. And I think when people are like, that's toxic masculinity, that's this, I think it's putting them above them. And I think it's creating this gap of significance so that they feel good and that they feel strong. And I don't agree with that. I think we can do a better job of respecting people, even if they believe in things that we don't believe in, right? I think that's where curiosity comes in. I think everybody's on their own path, right? That's cool. As long as it's not, affecting me, my income, and my family and things like that. Like I'm pretty solid with whatever you want to do. Yet I don't need to feel bigger by putting you down, right? Like that's, I think, an important piece to all of that toxicness.
Well, I love the way that you said that it's just toxic behavior, regardless of whether it's feminism or masculinity. And let's call
Yeah.
it what it is. It's the behavior that's toxic. And
Hmm.
it doesn't why do we have to attach it to masculinity or femininity? It's just, let's recognize what the toxic behavior is and avoid that, and not paint all men with this wide brush that they're all masculine or they're all toxic, and all women that are all toxic, whatever. It's just, what really concerns me, and this is why I really wanted to have this conversation with you, is you are trying to help young men, but at the same time, this is helping women as well, because young women are being misled. They're
Hmm.
being there's a confusion is created through these social media posts. So a lot of young women don't know anymore what to look for. They don't
Hmm.
even know how to recognize a healthy relationship. They don't even know what a healthy boundary is anymore. And so this is really impacting women and men. It's not just one or the other. And I'm glad that you're doing this to help the young men. And I hope that a lot of young women listening understand that this is also impacting them if we don't end up changing our thoughts and our ways of looking at things, and stop competing. And it's not us against you. We need to collaborate. We need to complement. We need to work together, because it's for the betterment of society. It's not, there's no way a dominant culture of women is going to be the answer, or just a dominant culture of men.